Friend and colleague, the ranking member, for any opening statement he may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to welcome our witnesses, Secretary Austin, General Brown, Mr. McCord. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your leadership in very, very difficult times. I think the chairman laid it out fairly well. It can be summed up as big threats and a tight budget. And you have to figure out how to make that work. But as the chairman noted, we have that tight budget because that's what Congress passed and the president signed, so we will have to find a way to live within it. I think the national security strategy lays out those threats quite well. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and then various transnational terrorist groups, all of which are causing challenges across the world. I don't disagree with the chairman's assessment of those challenges, or how increasingly the problem is they are working together more and more to coordinate those threats in a way that are deeply challenging. We do want to hear today, obviously, about the two specific hottest spots right now, what's going on in Ukraine. It is good that Congress finally passed the aid package to Ukraine. The months of delay were very costly. Would be very interested in your military opinion about where the fight in Ukraine goes from here, in Ukraine's ability to hold off the assaults that are coming from Russia. In the Middle East, the war rages on with a continual threat that it could spread. I want to compliment the administration and Secretary Austin in particular, Chairman Brown, for the work to try and contain that, to work with our partners, to work with our allies. But that challenge continues. And I think it is even more important that President Biden continues his push to try to get a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza with the release of the hostages. I know the president has been negotiating that. A number of terms have been put on the table. Hamas has repeatedly refused to accept that. I don't think we should stop trying to get to that humanitarian ceasefire going forward, and to work to make sure that we get more aid into Gaza. I know that we have begun to build the pier to help get aid in from the sea. Any and all efforts necessary must be put in place, which I very much appreciate. In terms of dealing with the big threats on that tight budget, I want to advance the idea, two things. One, we need partnerships and we need diplomacy. We cannot do it alone, and we cannot fight everybody everywhere all at once. We may not like a wide variety of things that these actors that we've talked about are doing. We have to live in the same world that they do, which means we have to talk to China. Yes, at some point, I believe we need to talk to Russia. We need to use our diplomatic skills and our partnerships and alliances, because one of the things I'm really worried about is that Iran, Russia, China, and the others, they're beginning to build partnerships. They're beginning to undermine our economic might. The chairman laid out how they are fighting back against our sanctions by working together. We cannot alienate the entire world and still meet these threats. We need the rest of the world on our side. So I hope we will consider building on the partnerships and diplomacy that we have used. I think the AUKUS agreement is a great example, the Quad that we've used, the 54-nation partnership that was pulled together to help Ukraine fight off Russia. All those are good examples, but we need to build on that. Lastly, I just want to foot-stomp what the chairman said about recruitment and retention. Thank him and thank the Quality of Life panel, Representative Houlihan, Representative Bacon led, which is focused on making sure that we give our servicemen and women and their families everything they need and give them the support. They are the backbone of our military, without any question, and they deserve our support. With that, I look forward to the testimony, and I yield back. Thank you.